Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you caught my previous video, then you will know that I've been doing a mixture of two different strategies with my trading. Since joining my mentorship, I've been focusing on both trading price action on Forex currency pairs, as well as using a scalping program on the indices market. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a recap of a trade that I took trading the DAX, where I managed to scalp a profit of 5%. Before we get into that, I just want to share a word of caution. Lately, there seems to be a lot of copycat accounts on both my Instagram page and my YouTube page, and they're fake accounts trying to scam people, trying to get them to give away their money. So I'm just going to add my own details onto the screen now for my Instagram page and obviously my YouTube channel, and I will never ever direct message anybody asking for money. So if you receive any messages like that, it's probably going to be one of these fake scam accounts, so try not to get drawn into that. So let's jump onto the screens and I'll break with you my trade recap for the scalp trade that I took on the DAX. Okay guys, I've just loaded up the daily chart for the DAX, which, if you're not familiar with the DAX, it's a stock market index which incorporates the 30 major German companies that are trading on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. And I've recently been playing around with the US 30, which are the top 30 American companies, and I've also had a look at the UK 100, as you can probably tell I'm from the UK. But after practicing with these markets now for a couple of months, I'm really quite enjoying the way that the DAX moves. So first things first, I was looking to trade this market from when the London session opens, which is 8 o'clock GMT. And the first step of my process was to open the daily chart and just to see what the general trend is saying. And as you can see, the general trend has been up. But what I like to do in particular for the DAX before I drop to the faster time frames is to zoom right in on the daily chart and get an idea of what the range has been. So as you can see, we've got this potential resistance right at the top here where price action hasn't broken any higher. Since then, we've had a large red candle down and we seem to have been stuck in a consolidation here. Price is just ranging. So all I've done is marked the high and the low of this range. And when I got onto the markets this morning to trade this, although you can see that currently the daily is looking to be quite a bearish pin bar, when I got onto the market this morning to trade this, it was actually a green candle and the body was around about there, so it was pushing higher and it looked like the trend was moving up. And what I was interested in was, once we got to the top of where this potential resistance has been, I thought that if we couldn't break past that, we might get a drop down, which is what you're seeing now, because obviously I'm recording this after I've taken the trades. So using my backtesting tool here to just go back in time a little bit for you guys, and I've just taken it back to just after 9 o'clock. So as you can see, the first hour of the London Open, we just had this nice trend continuing upwards and we've reached that upper end of the daily resistance. So I was being careful here because I was looking for a short because I wanted to trade the potential drop, but obviously nothing is ever guaranteed in the market, and I wanted to wait for some clear confirmation because I didn't want to get in too soon and then just get stopped out if the trend was to continue pushing higher. So this red candle here that's just gone through my indicators and the SAR has now moved to the top indicates that there could be a potential trend shift. So I was still watching at this point, watching this consolidation area. And as price pushed up here, I actually set a stop, a sell stop just below this range, and I set it around about this point here because I thought that if price couldn't get any higher here, then we were likely to get the drop down. And for this, I initially set a 20 pip stop. Now it's just above this level because if we broke the highs, we're probably going to continue up. And at this point, I just set a generic target just to get into the trade. So we had a nice big push down which activated my sell stop, so I was short in this trade. However, price just consolidated quite a little bit, and at this point I just walked away because I had my stop set, I had my target set, and I thought I'll just give it half an hour and come back and see what it was doing, which is quite nice because price actually rose up here and it came quite close to my stop, but I wasn't sitting watching this, so I didn't give in to any of those potential emotions that can sometimes arise. Once price came back down through the SAR, I had an alert go off, and that's when I came back to check on the trade, and I could see that I was still in this position and that we were starting to get a nice sell-off. So at this point in the charts, we had a nice green candle up and then a red candle which closed lower down, and I took that to be the lower high that price was making. So at that point I actually brought my stop to break even just to remove any risk from this trade. And then I also considered some realistic targets, because although a 2-to-1 is great, I wanted to get more if possible from this trade. So in the end I was thinking that maybe we had the potential to reach 30. At the back of my mind, I thought that price had the potential to come down to the bottom of this range, but I didn't want to expect anything from price because we had shown a lot of strength up here, and this could simply just be a pullback on the larger time frames before moving higher up. So I was trying to be quite flexible with my targets, but I was trying to get more from this trade. Now as price started moving down here, I actually started to trail my stop. So once we had gotten just underneath 45, I moved my stop to 50. And I kept quite a tight stop because I just wanted to make sure that I captured this profit. And as price moved down here, I then trailed that stop further and I placed my stop, my hard stop, at 40. Which then we got the bounce back up and it got me out of the trade. But I'm not complaining because I managed to get out of this trade with a 50 pip winner, which meant that risking 1% per 10 pips, I actually got out of this trade with a nice 5% win. And since then, price just did a little pullback and then it continued further down. And at this point, I actually walked away from the computer. In hindsight, I could have stayed and I could have watched this and maybe considered getting back in, perhaps on the break of the lows here, to try to get some more. But quite honestly, after making 5% on this trade, I didn't want to get greedy. I didn't want to overstay my welcome. I didn't want to potentially give back my profits from the day. So I was quite happy to walk away and take this nice winner on the DAX. And as well as trading this scalping program, as I said before, I've also still been practicing and developing my skills reading price action. In fact, I'm currently in a trade on my account with the 5%ers as part of their free summer plan challenge. I did create a video about that, you may have caught that before. But just to share that with you guys, I'm currently long on pound yen. We'd created this little support area here that we had got quite a lot of volume from, and once price came back and hit it twice here and was respecting that level, I thought that that would look like it was making a potential support there to be able to continue going up to the upside. And this is on the hourly time frame. And I got into this trade on the 30th of June. It was actually after this large bullish candle on the hourly time frame, the closing 10 o'clock candle, that I set a buy limit. So I simply set my buy limit at around about 50% tracement of that hourly candle, and it got triggered at this point here, which was really nice because it tapped my entry, got me into this trade, and it's basically just been trending higher. So I've not suffered any drawdown so far, which is great. And at the moment, price is currently up around about 2R on my trade. I've brought my stop to break even just to remove the risk, but I'm going to try and trust my plan here because the temptation's always there to get out in profit. But realistically, I placed this fork and I thought that there'd be a chance price would move higher up to test this middle line here. So I've set a 5R target, but I'm going to keep an eye on this, and as price swings higher, I might trail my stop up just to try to capture that profit along the way. That's it for me for today. I hope you guys have had a great week. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.